Human rights are a massive part of any future development campaign. That's according to Navi Pillay, the UN's High Commissioner for Human Rights. She issued her annual report this week calling the dismal human rights situation seen in the world over the past year game changers. Pillay stressed that human rights need to be priority one for the UN and other bodies.
The many challenges we face, ranging from armed conflict to economic crises, require a solid response from the international community, and human rights must be part of that response, reflected in the decisions of the intergovernmental bodies and throughout the work of the organization. This is the core purpose of the United Nations.
And the UN has been busy in its purpose with humanitarian missions all over the world. The UN, however, especially its Security Council, is less successful at solving geopolitical problems, as it has shown for the last 2 years in Syria and for the last 6 decades in Palestine. The African nation of Mali is currently suffering under heavy humanitarian conditions, and UN officials say those have only been aggravated by insurrection in the north and a now months-old French invasion force.
For IDPs and refugees alike, the primary worry remains insecurity, continued fighting, suicide attacks, reprisal attacks against some communities, the presence of mines and unexploded ordnance in the regions of Mopti, Gao and Timbuktu are all cited as reasons to delay returning. However, the absence of services in the north is very clearly also a factor. Few schools are functioning there. Government authorities are still absent in many towns and cities, and many displaced families prefer simply to wait.
Now, late last year, the UN Security Council tried to handle some of Mali's problems with a resolution, but it was one that was soon to be rendered moot by a unilateral French invasion. The Syrian crisis is currently the most pressing humanitarian concern in the Middle East, with a grossly underfunded $1.5 billion appeal that even UN officials call out of date. The U.S. has vowed to give $60 million in aid to opposition forces trying to overthrow the Syrian government. But on the other side, diplomatic efforts are still underway, with the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon today acknowledging an offer for dialogue made by the Syrian foreign minister.
I know that the Syrian government, particularly Foreign Minister Muallem, has expressed his willingness to meet with the opposition, the representatives. This is a very small window of opportunity, which we strongly support and encourage them to use that. The opportunity may soon close.
The UN is also active in places like Somalia and Afghanistan, where excessive humanitarian aid is needed to overcome the chaos left by military forces in those countries. Hank Flynn, Press TV, New York.